Are you somebody who really likes webcomics? Are you somebody who likes reading the funny pages in the newspaper every week? Are you somebody who really likes Cyanide and Happiness? Well, if any of those things apply to you, then I have the perfect game for you, because today on Joker Reviews, we're going to be reviewing Joking Hazard. Okay, so mechanically, Joking Hazard is very similar to your Apples and Apples, your Cards Against Humanity, your similar party games like that. And how it works is you're just doing it with pictures, where you would normally do it with like comment cards, things like that, funny sayings. This will have quotes on it, but it's primarily the pictures. So how it works is you have one person that is the judge, and that person will flip over a card from the deck. Each player has a hand of 7 cards, and they will use those cards to interact with whatever card comes out of here. Now, how the turn goes is based on what color this card is. So we flip it over, we see a black card. Black card is one of the setup cards. So, as the judge would then pick something from their hand and continue the setup. So either they would place the card before or after. So before or after. And they're trying to make something that makes sense, but it can be funny and it can be an interesting setup. So like, because this is Cyanide and Happiness, you're looking for something that's a little absurd. So like, I've chosen this one. So he comes up and he says, "My wife just died." And the other guy says, "That's pretty cool, I guess." So now you have an interesting setup, and each player now has to complete this setup with something to go at the end. So you kind of your punchline. And that card can be either a black card or a red card. It doesn't matter. I've chosen this one to show an example. It's a red card. It happens to be a red card, but it could be a black card. And I think this is perfect. Guy comes up. He says, "My wife just died." The other guy says, "That's pretty cool, I guess." And he stabs him. Very typical Cyanide and Happiness humor. So in this case, since the original card was a black card, and this is the one that was played, that player who wins, say this one's chosen, that card would go to the winner pile of that player who played it. These would get discarded, and the judge would then move clockwise around the table. So the next judge draws a card. And in this case, we have a red card. So a red card kicks off a bonus round. In a bonus round, each player has to pick 2 cards to be the setup for the punchline. The judge does not play any cards in a bonus round. So let's just take a look here out of the ones in my hand. So you look through your hand, and I've chosen this one. And I think it works perfectly. So again, all the other players that are not the judge would then play 2 cards. Obviously, they'd get mixed up, so the judge doesn't know who's playing them. And they would reveal them one at a time, kind of make it like a punchline. And they would choose which one would win. So in this one, it's time for we both to become men. You can see how he reacts to that, and it ends up there. So if the judge then chooses this one, this card, the red card, gets discarded. And the person who won, let's say it's the same person, gets the 2 cards that they played now. So that's why it's a bonus round. And that's pretty much it. It's a really simple game. There's a lot of funny cards in here. Like, I mean, these are not particularly funny, but there's a lot of funny cards that you can play, and you can just kind of see the different combinations you can do when you're creative with it. And I absolutely love this game in comparison to like a Cards Against Humanity, just because of all the artwork and stuff. So that's getting into a little bit into my post-mechanics discussion. But now that you know how it mechanically works, let's talk a little bit about my thoughts on the game. Now that you know the mechanics of the game, let's get into my final thoughts on it. I really like this game because it's kind of like a visual version of Cards Against Humanity. And as somebody who really likes Cards Against Humanity, then obviously I'm going to really like this because it's a very similar game, except it has a visual aspect to it. And I think there's something to be said about the extra hilarity that can ensue by having that visual aspect. I have brought this game to a lot of different parties. I've brought this game to a lot of different houses and places where there are large groups of people that you're looking to get involved in games, and it always seems to be a great game. It always seems to get a good reaction and a lot of laughs. It's got a lot of potential for some weird situations when you really look at the cards and kind of put them together and get different minds kind of getting evil plans in your head on how you can build these comics out. It's not particularly appropriate for children because of the artwork and some of the language that's on it and things like that. But if you're going into this knowing that it's a very similar to like Cards Against Humanity, then you kind of are aware of that because most of Cards Against Humanity is not particularly friendly for kids, but it still is really fun, and you're going to be able to get it like, I don't know, upper like 17, 18-year-olds can participate, things like that. But it's really fun. It's very funny, and I would definitely recommend it. I've had a blast with this game. If you do want to pick up your own copy of this game, then feel free to check out the link down below. It's no extra cost to you, but it really helps out the channel. And if you like these game reviews, then feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know what's up, and I'll catch you in the next game review, guys.